In this Tower Fantasy video, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the ENE Weapon Matrices chipset. If you're new here, do me a favor and help me to reach 28k subs on the channel by subscribing and turning notifications on if you like Tower of Fantasy. The ENE chipset is an SR grade set meant for a DPS. You can primarily get this set by farming the Joint Operation Hyena Arena on Wednesdays and Sundays, starting at difficulty level 2. I 100% think this chipset is worth it and worth your time to farm. The description of this set reads, when dealing damage greater than 100% of attack, deal additional damage equal to 60% of attack, cooldown 3 seconds. Alright, so what that means dumbed down is whenever you use an attack, weapon skill, dodge skill, or a discharge skill that has a description that reads something like dealing damage equal to 373.8% of attack plus 942, this is the fishing skill from Huma, you will deal another extra damage that's going to be 60% of your overall attack score for that weapon type. To find your overall attack scores, head to your character sheet and you can see the different attack scores your character currently has for each weapon type. The score that is darkened signifies the weapon that you currently have equipped. You can use this page as a sort of guide to decide which weapon you own that would benefit most from this chipset by equipping it to the weapon of that type with the most attack. Alright, so now to get a good read on what that extra damage is in-game, I suggest changing your scroll text to list in settings by going into your settings and choosing others. Down on the bottom, you'll see options for scroll text. Change it to list and your damage numbers will cease to be on top of each other in a confusing heap for the most part, and instead will be displayed in columns. Here's what the ENE extra damage looks like on Nemesis. First, I'll use Nemesis dodge skill without the chips equipped. Nemesis dodge skill only gives 1 damage total normally. The skill reads, Venus fires a charged orb that travels forward a set distance and explodes on contact with targets. Deal damage equal to 171.6% of attack plus 541 and generate a slowing magnetic field for 3 seconds, which reduces the movement speed of all enemies caught within by 35%. Now, do you see the consistent single number here? Now, here is the same attack with the ENE chipset equipped. The extra damage from the ENE chipset will be displayed in the left-hand column while the main damage is on the right. The chipset has a cooldown of 3 seconds, so every 3 seconds there will be a second damage displayed on the left-hand column. From what I can tell, this damage effect only activates on the targeted enemy when using an AoE attack on a group of enemies. I could be wrong, but after extensive testing, I haven't seen multiple extra damages popped up when using AoE attacks on groups of enemies. Just one enemy gets the extra damage. And likewise, when executing attacks that deal damage over time, such as with King's Discharge, there will only be 1 extra damage for the initial attack damage. Weapons that this chipset will be good for is pretty much any DPS weapon or weapon that you want to see more damage with. Specifically though, I think weapons that have skills with low cooldowns would be a perfect match, such as Claudia with Rome that has a 15-second cooldown, or Frigg with Thimble Winter that has a 30-second cooldown. Also, any weapon that has a high damaging dodge skill like Frigg in Multi-Slash, Huma in Erupt in the Axe form, and King with Returning Chainblade would also benefit from this set. Now, I'm not saying that this is the absolute best SR DPS chipset in the game, but it seems meant for a DPS. I was streaming live the night before I made this video, and my chat and I spent a solid hour figuring out and deciding what this chipset actually did so we could find the actual damage to decide if it was good or not. So thank you to everyone who was active in chat during that stream. I appreciate your help. If you want to catch one of my streams live, follow me on Twitter at VSGN, that's V as in Victor, SGN Social, all one word, where I post when I'll be going live because I stream sporadically with no real schedule, though I hope to change that in the future. I'm really trying to grind subs on this channel through YouTube videos for Tower of Fantasy at the moment, so my streaming has taken a back seat. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. If you did find it helpful, please do not leave without leaving a like. And again, sub to my channel with notifications on if you like Tower Fantasy and videos for the game. I'd really, really appreciate it. My name is SGN. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.